Hello everyone, my name is kdm, and welcome back to my channel. So today we're gonna do like a 3-part series breaking down CarbonNation TV, or some people like to call it melanation. We're gonna break down what it means, this community, who is the leader, Nature Boy, Elysian Bishop, and then also the people within the community. The reason why I decided to take 3 parts of this information is because there's so much to just digest, learn about, and just figure out what is the knowledge, the information behind this. Is it truly a positive community, or is it something deeper to the madness? Is CarbonNation for the culture, or is it just a community getting ready to destruct based on the leader of the community? So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. So like I said, the first part, we're going to get into what is CarbonNation TV? What is melanation? And throughout my research, I've kind of broken it down to 10 parts. So let's get into it. So number 1 is learning certain terminologies and understanding that the basis of CarbonNation TV and melanation, their focus, which I think is perceived on, is the love of nature, the love of oneself, the love of community. They break it down into this like segment about having patience with love. They use scripture to incorporate their notion of meaning. Getting to know someone is patience, is kind, it is love. You don't really need to know why someone loves you. It's just the patience behind the act of love. Now, with this segment of love in which they go deep into, they talk about certain terms. Love of thyself, cells within the body that causes you to function, which creates and transfers this love within you, which can kind of go into number 2 component of CarbonNation TV, knowing yourself. Essentially, they say this is the information age, and only the chosen few know the love of thyself. One thing about CarbonNation TV, they also talk about this transfer of energy. It cannot be destroyed. It cannot be created. It can only be transferred to one person to another. With this segment of energy, in a way, it's just basically talking about any type of energy that can be absorbed truly from the body, truly from nature. That is what knowing yourself is about. Take, for instance, the example of water. Water is what makes up the entire body, which that can be transferred. What you pour into someone is what you're gonna get out, that transfer. But take, for instance, capitalism. That's money. Yeah, you can transfer it, but will it really bring something back to you? I guess within time, if you believe in karma, but it's nothing that's free, organic, and truly of substance where people have an equal advantage of gaining. Another segment to number 2 of knowing yourself, letting go of mental parasites. Letting go of negative energy. Letting go of negative energy. What you pour into people, that is what you're gonna get out. So even if you're not even speaking, but you have this demeanor of negative energy, is going to exude, and you're gonna get that in return. Manifestation is also part of knowing oneself. Anything that you think, you can do it. Put it out in the universe, speak it out in the universe, and you will be able to retain that. Now, the one thing about knowing yourself is that the only way to achieve this knowing yourself is essentially getting out of Babylon. You will see a lot of videos of them condemning Babylon, and you're probably wondering, what is Babylon? Well, it's the United States. The United States is funded on capitalism. It's not funded on nature. It's not giving back to the universe. So to say to them, so getting out of Babylon is essentially knowing your higher self. You know, you're on a lower frequency if you're in Babylon, according to them. Last thing of knowing yourself is creating a healthy diet, pouring into your cells nutrients, wonderful food. So let's continue with the list. Number 3. Now, number 3, if you're big into zodiacs and horoscopes, CarbonNation TV, Melanation TV is for you. You have to know your birth chart. That is number 3. You have to know, honestly, the entire scope of it. And if you don't know what a birth chart is, basically, it's not just the day that you were born. So some people just think just because you're born at a certain time of the year, you're just one zodiac sign. Like, for instance, for myself, I was born February 7th, so I'm an Aquarius. But that's not the whole scope of me. I'll have to type in my birth chart to figure out which solar planets I derive in that makes up the entire scope of me. So just because my sun sign is Aquarius, I might have another zodiac majority and other planets of the birth chart. So let's just break down what basically the birth chart is, because in part 2, we're going to actually get into Nature Boy's birth chart so we can actually understand him. So there are 10 solar planets. Hopefully I'm breaking this down correctly. There are 10 solar planets. The sun is what you mainly are. The sun is what you mainly are. It's the core, it's your ego. It is the first thing that you see. It's your pride at the end of the day. That's how you truly act. Then you have your moon sign. People often think that your moon, whatever your zodiac is in your moon sign, that's what people automatically perceive you as. So even though you were born in a certain month of like an Aquarius, but the way people perceive you of your moon sign, that's what your inner thoughts are. That's what your conscious is constantly telling you what to be. One thing also to know about your birth chart, it is essentially a good and positive things, because back in the day, which Babylon created, it will help with the sciences. It helped with your knowledge of understanding. You also use birth charts to interpret philosophy. And also, the 4th component to CarbonNation TV is basically knowing that you have to separate yourself from Babylon. You have to get out in order to know. Now, Nature Boy goes into actually breaking down what is Babylon, and he compares it to like practicing religion. People who practice religion is almost like not wanting to let go of American or capitalistic traditions. Also, he states in Babylon, you truly can't be with nature. You truly can't be your true authentic self, because in America, you're constantly trying to validate yourself by material wealth, material things, the status quo, capitalism, and nothing in America you truly own, because it's a capitalistic state. We own we have to pay taxes. We have to keep paying on property, or it will be taken away. Whereas nature never takes anything away from you, because you are nature. Another thing he points out in Babylon, in order to be one with nature, you can't be ashamed of your true self. And being ashamed goes back to, he does reference Bible and scripture. He goes back to Adam and Eve, not being ashamed of being in the nude. In America, it's illegal to walk around nude. However, when you get out of Babylon, you can truly be yourself. You can truly take it all off, be one with nature, because our cells within our skin needs the sun to absorb that self and get the nutrients that we need from the sun, from mama. And they do reference nature as mama. Lastly, in the component of number 4 of Babylon, he talks about how we have to let go of toxins, of things that harm the body, such as tattoos, ink. We shouldn't be placing ink on our skin, respecting our body, because our body is essentially a computer that needs that essentially needs like the electronic device to absorb with nature. Number 5, he talks about how we essentially do not die because we lie within nature. We simply just reincarnate ourselves. And this goes into kind of like afterlife in a way. If you believe that there is an afterlife, he believes your afterlife is you will turn into nature. And I mean, if you kind of reference the Bible, in a way, we are ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Nature. All right, number 6, God is a feminine and a masculine energy. God is not a man, God is not a woman. It is essentially truly feminine and masculine energy coming together to create this universe. Which universe is controlled by nature. Number 7, and if you think about numerology, 7 completion. Number 7 component, the true objective of CarbonNation TV is to be one with nature. And I'm gonna break down this whole nature getting back to mama. In order to get back to mama, you must understand gender roles. That there needs to be structure and order according to them, not to me. They believe that a man and a woman is not created equally because we have different physical body structures. So there's no way we could be created equally. A woman is supposed to provide this submissive, this gentle nature to them. However, men are supposed to be the provider. They are supposed to be the stronghold. So obviously, CarbonNation takes this traditional role of what the woman's role should be versus the male role. And I do believe, don't quote me on this one now, but I do believe that they believe that the man is the head of the household. They are the provider. Females are just supposed to cater to the man, not actually work, not actually take on this masculine role. And ultimately, if a man is a provider, if he is a protector, if he is a builder, he builds the shelter, he brings home the bacon, then he has achieved his true higher self. Component number 8, stop fasting and start living. Because truly when you fast, it's temporary. Whereas if you start living and you create this whole new healthy lifestyle, it will be controlled in the fasting process to be long term. Honestly, with fasting, Nature Boy goes on to state that you will get to the true core of the problem in a way. When you're fasting, you get to the core problem and you truly become the lifestyle of your higher self. Because when you're just fasting, it's in a lower frequency if you don't take it on long term. Lastly, with the stop fasting and start living, he states that the external projects the internal. So whatever you feel on the inside, it always projects outside onto others. And so whatever you are creating, whether it's through food, whether it's through mental, you are essentially projecting it. So If you want positive things to happen, you have to feel that within so that it can project out. Number 9, he states that most people are mentally underdeveloped. He say mentally underdeveloped. He states that majority of people are often ashamed of who they truly are, of what they truly think. But if you live bold in your life and really believe in yourself, then others will too, and you will get that component back. You will get a reward back in return. He essentially states that you have to reach your animal state. When he says the animal state is truly being naked, like physically naked, and truly being vulnerable to being your authentic self. Last component of CarbonNation TV is to stop using products that have toxins that creates cancer within your body. And I'll post up a couple things just as a little bit of a hindsight. Certain deodorants, they have parabens, they have toxins that in the long run is going to create a cancer within your body. Certain lotions, certain soaps, certain makeup, certain beauty products that we use creates toxins. Shampoos, conditioners, air fresheners, microwaves, they create toxins in your bodies. And you have to get away from those products that will not allow you to be your higher self. Now, these 10 components that I just went over, I don't see anything wrong with the components that he's preaching. Now, these things that I've just stated to you, you can look this up on the internet. I mean, honestly, these first 2 components, you hear a lot about this holistic living through like Dr. Sebi, through other holistic doctors. So these components that I'm going over, these 10 components that I'm going over, is nothing new. And honestly, CarbonNation TV, they are speaking some truth to these components. It is true that we should live a healthy, balanced life. It is true that we should manifest positive things, pour into things that is giving us our true self, getting back to the true essence of ourselves. However, when we get into part 2, we are going to understand the dynamic that has people so enraged with Nature Boy, with the whole community of it all. Because to truly understand CarbonNation TV, we have to understand its leader, Nature Boy. And Nature Boy is man, so he's not going to be perfect at all. And trust me, I am going to give it to you straight. Man has a couple flaws. So yes, if you like this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Hopefully I broke down what CarbonNation and melanation is all about. Because truly, I don't think that their mission statement and that these 10 components, I don't think anything is wrong with what they're saying. Yes, their terminology, yes, it is a kind of like a little quirky, a little weird, comparing yourself to a computer, always referencing nature as mama. Yes, it is unusual. Yes, it is a little different. But the 10 things that I'm saying, I mean, you honestly can't disagree with it. Living a healthy lifestyle, living holistically is honestly the best way we should do it. Now, having the willpower to change into this healthy diet is the part that has people kind of enraged, because no one wants to let go of that material things, darling. But the true core of these 10 components, yes, nothing's wrong with it. Part 2, however, that's where I'm giving a side eye. Let's get into Nature Boy. Until next time, make sure you click for part 2 is coming up right after this. Bye.